Hello everybody, my name is Ace. Today I'm going to be doing some more Polarized Phantasm in the Abyss. Now this time I'm actually going to step up the game a little. I'm going to go into the T3 side before we did the T2. But I noticed that I was actually over-tanking quite a bit. So I think that maybe this time it is quite appropriate that I would go for a T3 electrical. And if I'm able to actually do this decently, then it should actually be a very good way to blitz the T3 sites, because the amount of DPS we have with this is just absolutely crazy. And I can imagine in some cases, or many cases at least, this will do a lot better than a standard Tech 2 Gila fit, and I could see it maybe even being better than it in many ways, especially because the tracking on these turrets is very good. So this would be a very easy way to just snipe the small frigates. The drones of the Gila obviously track pretty well, but I feel like this is going to be a bit faster because you can probably one-shot many frigates with this, and especially since the DPS is very high. So you can see here we've got 500 DPS with the Scorch, but if we go with the Conflag, no, you don't want to. Come on, I had to group, I think. There we go. 895 DPS, absolutely amazing. Now I don't know why this stupid Scorch does not want to, or these ammo types don't want to switch ammo types, but they're just oh yeah, okay, I have to put it on the first one. But this ship, I think that it'll do pretty well because it has this really good DPS, and also it's gonna have pretty good tracking because of the Sancha cruisers or Sancha ships in general. They have very good bonuses to their inherent turret tracking, and I'm also able to get some decent tank on this. So polarized. Obviously, the big problem is that you've got very little resistances. In fact, no resistances. However, I am able to get 204 HP per second with the shield boosting, and we've got quite a bit of capacitor to spare as well. In the electrical side will obviously have double. So since I've noticed that as long as you have if you have minus 100%, then you'll have basically just a precisely stable capacitor. Like you kind of multiply it by 2. So here we'll have plenty of capacitor to spare. So this will be very good in the electrical side because capacitor is doubled, recharge rate is doubled in the electrical side. So we'll see how this goes. The only thing I really worry about is mainly the wrecking shots, but hopefully we'll pull through. I think it'll do pretty decently because I think the tank is alright. It's not the best, okay, not the best. It I would probably, if I were to have a T3 farming ship, I would very likely put a bit more tank on this than 200 EHP per second. However, the thing is, I think that this ship has so good DPS, it'll kind of act as a bit of its tank in itself, because I hear this a lot in missions that, okay, you have more DPS, you kind of have more tank, because often in missions they last a very short amount of time, so that you basically kill all the NPCs before you even able to take significant damage. So in a way, you've kind of tanked a lot of DPS by taking out enemy ships very quickly rather than actually tanking DPS. So that acts a bit as your tank. However, I don't really go for that approach in the Abyss because usually the sites don't take a bit longer than a standard room in a mission site. However, here we're doing pretty low level filament, so T3, but we've got a very high level DPS. This is more than my T5 farming Gila DPS, or in the electrical sites at least. So I think that the DPS will work a bit as a tank as well here. I have actually altered the fit slightly from the T2 variant. I put a bit better shield boosters, so I put Pithum C-type medium shield boosters here, so it cost about 100 million more this fit. And then I've also got the tracking computer just per usual, but I swapped out a Solidifier, one of these Locus coordinators for Solidifier to just boost a little bit more tank. However, we have got capacitor stability. However, we've got quite a bit more tank as before. And also the benefit of having 2 shield boosters is that if we are under severe nuke pressure, we can always just have one active and have the other one just chill for a bit. You could actually do the same with a large shield booster by just pulsing it a bit, but I like having 2 shield boosters because then you can kind of divide up the power a bit. Or it feels a bit easier to pulse it so that you can kind of limit the amount of capacity usage as you want. All right, let's see how this goes. Let's go. Okay, what have we got here? Drekavac wave. So the DPS here, a lot of DPS lies in these Kikimoras. I'm actually going to do something new. I'm going to just try using this without a any script at all, because this does provide both tracking and range bonuses. So I'm thinking maybe it could actually be a possibility to go for this as well. Okay, so this guy is getting really close. Let's shoot a conflag. Let's shoot this guy. Yeah, this guy's going to fall very quickly. Let's go use our acolytes. Okay, this guy died very quickly. Good. And now we're going to use our Scorch to get for these Kikimoras and recall our drones, because they're probably shooting them. You can see that they're yellow boxing, so that means they're probably shooting my drones. Okay, let's keep going towards the, because we're not in range for the Scorch. We've got the fall off of 28, so now we're doing a bit more DPS. Oh, you see that? They're dying pretty quickly now. Can actually see if we can get a bit closer, actually. A bit closer, we can maybe use the conflag. Oh yeah, that guy died really quickly. Oof. Let's get close to this guy. See if this guy's gonna die. I've not. It's just fun because I've never even considered using Polarized in the Abyss because just the tank is so crap. But it seems like, you know, we're tanking alright. You see, it's going back and forward, and we always have the ability to overheat. Uh-oh. Now, you know, it's funny how I say that now. We're actually taking quite a bit of damage. Okay, let's get a bit closer. Who is weapifying us? Okay, let's go for the conflag and get a bit closer. Orbit these guys a bit. We've got a pretty good ability to speed tank with this ship because of just how the Afterburner makes us very fast. Santa cruisers, they always have, or the Santa ships, they have very good Afterburner bonuses, and since our signature radius is very small because of the Afterburner, we're going to be able to tank very well. Let's get a bit closer. Actually, we are not in range. Something I worry a lot is about a wrecking shot. A wrecking shot will probably one-shot my shields because we've got no buffer basically due to no resistances. So that's something scary to look out for. But otherwise, it seems like this would be pretty fun actually in the T3. You know, it's just like seems like a little bit of an alternative for farming healers. All right, this guy's going really quickly. Okay, let's go to the next room. We're on the test server, so I don't want to bother with getting the loot, but you know, the loot was always something you would want to get. 1.2k a second, so pretty fast. Something actually I was just thinking is that something I maybe would have changed is actually a Tech 2 Afterburner would be a possibility, because you know we want to maximize the, we've got bonus Afterburner, we want to go fast. Okay, I mean, okay, it's not particularly faster, 70 meters per second faster, it's still quite fast. Oh, this is some little boost. You see that? Look at that capacitor, 39 gigajoules per second to spare. We've got crazy capacitor, so newts will not be a big problem here. Okay, let's go to the next room. What have we got here? It's probably good to start off with Scorch because everything's really far away. So we're gonna go for probably the Upholder actually, because the Upholder is the one on webify us. Newts is probably not going to be so bad here. So we want to, the Sentinels are the ones who newt us. The sleeper cruisers, you see these guys here. Sentinels, they always like to newt. They've got pretty strong newts actually, especially if you get close. Those Sentinels will newt you quite a bit. But I still don't think it's going to be too bad when it comes to the newting. I just want to take out this Upholder first actually. Start shooting now. And when we start shooting this up this guy, we can probably get actually close. Actually, let's and use the conflag. Oh, he's actually really close already. Probably it's good to switch over to conflag now actually. Conflag, shoot him. Yeah, oh, did you see that? He died really quickly. Let's get close to this guy and start shooting. You see that? We're taking quite a bit of newting from these guys, but it's just like, our Capacitor's just chilling there, you know? It doesn't really care at all. It has a lot to do with that I've got 2 Flux coils, you can see here. Flux coils are modules that really, they put a lot of extra capacitor in you. Like, it's really good when it comes to this capacitor. Just that you're freeing up a low slot, or you're using a low slot, and low slots often very, like, they're very useful. You can get a lot of DPS. A lot of useful modules can be placed there. But here, I mean, there's no reason to put a damage control because we've anyway got 0% resistances, and then also we have, you know, already quite a lot of DPS from the polarized weapons, so we don't really need to do that. The rigs we've got provide pretty good tracking and optimal range for us. I mean, we've not got the best optimal range, obviously, but we've got still some sort of optimal range with this conflag right here. So I don't think that's really, we don't need to put a tracking enhancer. I've tried even putting a tracking enhancer and it didn't really provide so good bonuses actually. So the flux cores just really amplify the capacitor so much. Look, you'll see here, if we take off this flux core, minus 25 from minus 30, so you can see you've got like a lot of extra capacitor from this. Let's go to the next room. Let's go and do the side. You see that warp scrambling effect is still there while this guy is even dead. What is this? Glitched. EVE Online is glitched. This guy is dead. This undead Scylla Tyrannos. Okay, let's go to the next side. What is our time? We're at 5.5 minutes. A pretty decent time actually. I want to see a Charybdis Tyrannos waves. I think Charybdis Tyrannos will be really easy because it'll be very easy for me to get under the Charybdis Tyrannos' guns. Oh, exactly what I wanted. Charybdis Tyrannosaurus Rex. Let's go. Okay, let's go with Scorch because These guys are going to start quite far away. And we're going to go and shoot up these guys. Shoot up these Solidifiers. Oh, you see that big hit. Penetrate shots are pretty significant. Start shooting now. Okay. We've got a null warp, null charge. Yeah, it's alright. It shouldn't be too bad. We're just gonna get in, like, you know, we're going not wanting to go directly towards Charybdis Tyrannus, because then it's going to be, you know, really bad transversal first. But we want to go a little bit in an arc, like we're doing now. We're just going a little bit to the side, so we keep the transversal up. But at the same time, we're getting closer to Charybdis Tyrannus to be able to establish that orbit. Because once you've established that orbit, then Charybdis Tyrannus is basically going to do no damage. Unless Charybdis Tyrannus is very lucky and does the wrecking shot. Okay, there we go. Shoot this guy here with a Scorch. I just want to get in close over to Charybdis Tyrannus. I know that these guys are very far away now, because these guys are like, you know, we're obviously not doing as optimal DPS with the Scorch, but they will eventually follow us when we are orbiting this Charybdis Tyrannus. Okay, let's orbit this guy at like 5k, maybe even closer actually, maybe 2.5k. Okay, there we go. That should be easy. Something I hate with Charybdis Tyrannus is Charybdis Tyrannus loves to kite. So you can see here, do you see it? Charybdis Tyrannus is trying to go away from us. It's moving away from us. See, it's going this way. So often if you've got a really like slow ship, then by the time you actually get to Charybdis Tyrannus, then you're actually going to be like almost at the boundary box, and it's really annoying because Charybdis Tyrannus, they'll always like just kite even and bounce back and forward from the boundary box. So if I'm orbiting like this, half of the time I'm just gonna go into the boundary box, and half the time I'm not. So I'm gonna take a bit of damage from the unstable abysmal depths. Abysmal depths. They are very abysmal, those abyssal depths. This should go pretty quick. Actually, I should shoot my drones as well. Come on now. I have to shoot my drones. Or launch my drones. Extra DPS is always required in the Abyss. Uh-oh. But no, not when you've got a Deviant Automata Suppressor. No. I didn't notice it. Because usually the Deviant Automata Suppressors, they're actually like shooting these flares. But since no one's shooting missiles, no one's got drones, then it's not going to shoot it. Because the Deviant Automata Suppressor, it shoots down drones and missiles, but if they're not being shot, then it's not going to bother wasting its flares. So you see that? Now it stops because no drones are anywhere nearby. So there we go. Finished the T3 site in 8 minutes and 30 seconds. This was pretty damn fun, actually, I have to say. You're doing the sites so quickly, and this ship is not really expensive. I mean, it is like, you know, a bit more expensive than a Tech 2 fit Gila that would do the T3 sites. I think this goes for like 300 or 400 million. So it's not like really cheap, but it's not really expensive either. And also you're doing the T3 sites pretty fast, so I think this is a very fun alternative, at least for the Gila when it comes to the T3 sites, at least. Hope you guys enjoyed this video right here, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.